Good morning, subscribers and YouTube out here. I'm just trying, it's going to come out because I had something develop after I made that long video late, late last night. My wife come to me and was telling me about some stuff, and uh, she had went to yesterday, and like I said, yesterday I didn't even know it was Mother's Day. I didn't even know it was. I don't keep up that stuff anymore. One day is just the next to me. It don't feel special, and other than other than the most normal of when one is that and even those aren't special anymore. Those like but no, that's why I told. And I remember saying this on the video about how you can't trust people at church. And because, like I said, and I'm gonna say this in the nicest of ways, but you just can't trust anybody at the church. They don't know you, and I don't know what this person has been texting my wife is getting. He thinks he's getting clever, and he's got nothing coming. I'm not too thrilled right now. So I'm gonna tell my wife, and she's listening to me right now. Do not trust anybody in that church. Nobody is going to be. I have a hard time with people as it is. Much less do I need my wife getting in these kind of things. If you see my videos, my wife joins in and our talks. We're very heartfelt and we really want something nice. If you see my videos, which I assume that's how this guy assumed that's what he was saying. I didn't tell some man to be texting my wife's number or to call or whatever and play some kind of stupid game. If you want to take someone to shelter, that's fine. But don't insult other people with that kind of crazy crap. If you already had something in mind, stick with it. Listen up, people. Not in the fucking mood for games. Okay? We've been through a lot. I feel like cussing his ass out, I tell you. I've had it. So I hear this Rick or whoever you are saw my videos. Well, you ain't listening too good, are you? As you just like all the others, playing your little game, you think it's something funny. I tell you right now, if you were sitting in right here in front of me, I'd knock the shit out of you. I tell you, I tell you, I'd probably do it. I tell you because I would be in no mood. I'm not in the mood for games. When I say me and my wife has got a legit offer out here for some young lady who's homeless, or even if they ain't homeless. But I told my wife, and I'm speaking this now. If somebody was homeless, they would come more to appreciate our offer versus someone who's got friends up their ass, who's got all that stuff that I speak of on many videos. But my wife just went out here at this local church yesterday, and this guy, I reckon, got up in front of the church and started spewing all his crap out. You know, I could do that, but do you see me in there? Right. No reason. I could have everybody turned upside down, inside out, and everything else. I'd have a lot of people on me not liking me if I stood up for 2 or 3 hours and told everybody how I felt about everything else. And versus their right and my right, it's going to be 2 different things. But my wife and I am not playing games. And unless you are a female, my wife is to no longer entertain anything. We didn't say men. We said women. So if there is one woman out there, make this clear one more time, in your mid-20s to 30s, if you out here and like I said, I'm gonna tell you this, because that's the only way I'm gonna talk. I don't talk to other men. I don't generally like a lot of men's things, so I generally don't fool with talking to others anyway, because most of them don't have anything in common with me, and I don't do most stuff that men do, you know. But you know, I asked her this morning, and I finally got up. I got up late. I stayed up late. I was staying up kind of late because she was telling me about all this stuff. At first, she had me thinking there was kids involved and her child of one, you know, and I said, no, we need an adult. You know, I can't take other people's kids. I said it's bad enough when these people lay down and for no reason don't want kids or change their minds, and after it's already over. I preach on that enough about how women shouldn't be out there just doing that. You ought to have a plan of action. If you're gonna have children of your own. I ain't gonna reach everybody, but I'm just saying, in logic sense, there ought to be a plan in place. You ought to know that you want it. You take what you get. You may not get a boy if you wanted a boy. You may not get a girl if you want a girl. You're gonna get what you get when it comes to that. I don't have to know how it feels on the other end because I ain't female, but I'm just saying all the stuff you see on TV and all the pains and all that, you know it's painful. So people shouldn't just shit these kids out like it's candy. And that's what I'm saying. There's a habit of it. Just, you know, they, you know, and like I said, later on when they're about 50 years old or almost 50, by the time they get of age to do anything of their own, then it's too late. You've messed up your whole life, your career that you could have had. You know, if you had an aspiration to be anything, you don't need kids. Kids make it worse. Because if you have kids, you have to have somebody to take care of them when you're out doing whatever you'd like to do. But if you're like me, it's hard to find anybody to depend on. So, you know, but no, this offer was, you know, this Unicorn Bestie offer is available. But I know my wife, if she hears me right now, I don't want anybody else and anybody on this YouTube. I don't want no other men texting my wife about something that's not legit. I asked for pictures. My wife didn't have pictures. So I'm making this rule right now. Unless my eyes My wife's eyes are looking at this person in front of us personally. I'm not entertaining nothing else. I don't care if you see it. I don't care if the people at church out here give these people food or not. I told my wife yesterday on a video when she was in here, I told her she needs to jump on it. If she sees a person, I don't care if there's 2 people, 100 people. I don't care if there's 1 car, 100 cars. If there's a woman out there to be had and they need a home, if you see something, go get it. I don't care what anybody thinks, what anybody out here thinks. I'm just telling you as it is right now. Me and my wife's got a nice offer for some lady out there, whether you're homeless or you're not. But if you ain't got all this stuff I've spoke of on the video before wrong with you, if you got a nice, decent head on your shoulders, you can, and you're somewhere between slim and average, athletic, something sporty like, we kind of want something like that. We like to go out there and do some stuff like that. We like to go out there and shoot some basketball once in a while and things like that. So, we're out here. It's not about what color you are or what, or where you came from. But it's self-explanatory that what we're looking for. So no more. I don't care. I'm exempting, and there ought to be a woman smart enough come out here and say, "Hey, I'd like to see these people. There's something about them. There's something I like, and they sound like good people." Like I said, I'm not going to be the first person you've ever met. My wife's not going to be. Nobody ever is. Your parents, your family will be the first to see you. They ain't going to just take you and have a whole bunch of strange people waiting on you to be born. It just don't work that way. But if you're somebody out there in between here and Athens, Decatur and Athens, we live in Decatur, Tennessee, but if you're between here and Athens, somewhere in the proximity of this, at least 30 minutes away in 423 area code, somewhere nearby, then this offer will apply to you. If you're somebody who likes a little bit of music, don't mind, like I said, my wife and I have got some things, she's got her doll collection stuff and all that. And I've got, I like to watch the Braves. Me and her watch them. But no, if she goes to that church down here, she's not to talk to no men other than the pastor about nothing. I'm not trying to be bossy. She knows I mean well. If there's a woman to be had, I'll listen. If there's a woman comes up to her, she knows she's allowed to bring her up here if she sees something. I've said that many times. I told her a while ago, if there's a woman out there actually is homeless, they'll come off better and they'll appreciate stuff better versus somebody like that crack whore Susan who lied about being homeless and pulled at my wife's heartstrings on purpose, who had all these other things up her ass and was being mean to us for what we were trying to offer her and her, bunch of hoodlums. But anyway, we want to try to get out of that. That's why we're not on Facebook much. We're not on, I'm not on this. I don't even, on this computer, I don't even have anything going now. What we got's on our phones. And I don't even bother getting on that. You know, I could get on Facebook and all them others if I wanted to, but I just choose not to. My wife made us on, but I don't check it. I don't take it serious. You know, we had a that Brittany Lamb woman that that came out of nowhere yesterday to come up here and see some. And my wife said, "Well, she only gave me like 2 or 3 minutes, and she's in a rush." Well, and I said, "Well, that's uh, you know, I mean, it is what it is." But like I told her, somebody out there would have to give us the appropriate time it would take, just like anybody else. Just like you had to get to know who your mom and your daddy was, because you don't get to pick and choose who your mom and your daddy is. You had to get to know them and everybody else. Well, you'd have to give us that appropriate time. You know what I'm saying? So, we're nice people, but we're gonna tell you how it is and how we feel, and you know, no more. I tell you, I'm not in the mood. Oh, I'm sure the 20 or so people that was in there. I'm sure. Yeah, like I said, you didn't have her in front of you, did you? I mean, I don't believe anything anymore, and I'm gonna say that's why my wife's right here. She can hear me, and I'm gonna say this: unless that damn person is physically in front of the church, I wouldn't believe it anyway. He just spewing off stuff. He got up there, and I know this kind of stuff because I've seen people do it. Oh, I need to dance something in front of the church. I got something, one of them testimonial things, like that's what they call it. Well, sounds like they need to quit doing that. If it's something about you and about what you went through for your week, and it involved you jackass, and you was just trying to have prayer, that's one thing. But don't start coming up to my wife. No men. I mean, like I said, I will make exceptions for actual dads, and maybe if there's some kin in there, if you've got some that we later on know about, because you'll probably have something along those lines. But as far as the way this guy did, no more of that. Unless the woman is physically in front of my wife or I, and however it comes, I'm not believing anything else when it comes to stuff like this. This does not feel good. My wife's just to go there for church. That's it. She's not to hand her number out to nobody in that fucking church. She's done told me the 2 or 3 women that's in there's already got somebody. They already got things going. I don't care if a goddamn fucking man walks in there and fucking croaks. I don't want their family having their numbers. I don't want nobody. In no cases. No jailbirds. No drunks. No drug addicts. Nothing. No homeless men. We ain't out here for men. But I did say, hey, if there was somebody out here that had somebody that knew, which is what I was trying to get at. If you knew of somebody who was like me or my wife that was kind of either handicapped or wasn't handicapped, but was like us, kind of, not doing much. didn't have a whole lot on their plate. Like I said, what you see is what you get with me and my wife. And like I said, there ain't no friends up our ass. There ain't no nothing. So if there was a lady in her 20s and 30s and she came out here and was, needing something and needed somebody, me and my wife's those people. You don't get very many nice people out here to offer something that nice for some young lady that might need it. Like I said, we'd have to get us a place of our own. But no, I'm my wife is her own person, but I'm trying to help her. So the best way to do it is I hope she listens. Because I don't want no men tied up in this stuff. It'd be good. It'd be just good enough to see the woman in front of us, so we know what we're dealing with. It's another one of these fucking things like this could happen tomorrow if we're not careful. So that's why I'm putting this out here. Unless there's a woman to be seen for my wife's own physical eyes, like she can take a picture of her and say, Derek, this is who I'm talking about. I'm tired of this third party business. This going behind my back stuff. This somebody doing something. Now let's figure out another way to do something. Right? That's what's wrong with today. You got people on the internet looking up Facebook and Twitter and everything else that could be a different name, cameos and all this other. They come up with a name, they come up with something else. The newest thing that's similar to it, all this other stuff. Now you got people texting and saying, I know this person, but yet they're nowhere to be seen, right? Nowhere to be seen. This goddamn doofus didn't even bring her to fucking church. I guess he just got up there and started running his mouth. It sounds like what he did. And hey, I don't put nothing past nobody, right? Nothing. So again, that's why, unless there is a physical proof of a person, a woman, I don't care. Like I said, I'm not out here to discriminate nothing on no basis. The only thing I ask, and my wife asked, if you want this offer, compromise where you need to compromise if you're in our shoes. We only have a few things we like I said, music. We'll watch movies. We'll do things. We like the Braves. You may have never heard of some of this stuff. But all I ask is for you to give it a chance. If you don't like it, I understand. I don't watch a lot of the stuff I used to. As long as I could go out there and reasonably take you out to go see something, maybe go to the local park, go shopping, do something with you. It makes you happy. Unlike some people, it's hard to please. But, I'm not going to have what just happened anymore. I want to see physical proof that there's a woman out here. And hey, like I said before, if my wife brought that, if she could see a crack whore comes up here, then somebody else can come up here. I won't start getting proof of everything. No, I ain't talking about ID cards and all that. I'm just talking about physical proof of people meeting us. I mean, we have a channel and everything, and we make video lists and all this stuff. But and I put my number and my wife's out here because I want somebody to know that if you're a young lady out there, you can text us and send us a nice picture. If you have a cell phone, and you can talk, you can let us know that you're interested in our offer. We've got a whole bag of stuff over here for you that we bought out of the goodness of our heart. And hang on just a minute. Yeah, Dust Sherlock, we're married. I don't know who you are, but I'll tell you this. I'm I look, everybody is different. And I guess everybody has just got, like I said, if anybody watched that 3-hour video that I made yesterday, me and my wife, the problem is you worry about things you can't do anything for. You worry about people on TV, who's celebrity, who if Britney Spears fell off a bridge and fucking, died tomorrow, everybody be whining and crying over something they never saw, they never did anything for, and they don't worry about their own family. They're worrying about people that's on TV and make all these videos and all this stuff. I ain't got time. I ain't got time to do all this typing. I'm gonna tell you it's like this. I come out here and I get many people. I'll put high out here. Hold on just a minute. But it's not hard to understand. Everybody's out there for all kind of different reasons, and some people wants whatever they want. Some people wants 100 friends up there, honey. Some people are magically blessed with all kinds of people. I myself and my wife are in no way in this world asking for that much attention. Like I said, if you wanted clothes, food, a dog, almost anything else, everybody and the brother would be throwing it at me. They'd be throwing it at my wife. But I put our stuff out here for a reason. And a lot of times I'm only one, I reckon, on YouTube just about that actually even puts a real legit picture up on their profile. A lot of these don't have pictures. That's another thing. And it's hard as it is. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like what I'm saying, you don't have to watch my video. I'm just telling you the truth, and I'm telling you how it goes. But I'm not going to let people play my wife and I no more. I come from the last era of what was left of respectful people. And they brought me up the way they brought me up. Yes, is this offer something for everybody? No. Does a lot of people come out here and make offers like this? No. But there is people who sell stuff, who go out there and ask for everything under the sun. Or at least get it out there. It's not guaranteed, as we know. I'm almost 38. I'll be 38 coming up in June. My wife will be 35 this year. We've had this unicorn bestie thing going on for almost 5 years. And we had somebody who come to us unannounced to me and I didn't know the person, but she came out, and I've made several videos before about that person. And she got herself mixed up in the wrong thing, fell for one of these freaking ads off Facebook and got some mess. If she hadn't have done that, she would have been up here and everything would have been fine. I would never probably ever, but I thought, hey, this is another way to get some outreach. Hell, if old Justin BB himself can go out there and get somebody to fall for his stuff, stupid stuff, and then him act like a jackass on national TV and get arrested and get caught for stuff and speeding, and that's how much appreciation he gets or he shows for what he, what he got. From what I hear, Usher's the one that saw his video, him doing some kind of thing. Just use things as an example. Like I said, people that want something nice never gets it, but the ones that don't ask for anything, that's just out there loafing around, makes a random ass video, you get about 100 people or 1 million people, 2 million people to like it or whatever. That's what's wrong. If it was a celebrity out there, putting on a show, doing something to get attention, then that's what they'd get. They'd get everybody's undivided attention, whether they knew them or knew what they were getting into or not. There's people out here that freaking scam. Every time you turn around, there's somebody doing something. But I and my wife ain't like that. We don't play the card games, the code games, and do what everybody else always does. We're who we are. We're real, legit people. And we got a town of about 1,600 people. It's small. There ain't no malls, not like I said, no bars, clubs, beaches, nothing like that. If you lived out here in Decatur, Tennessee, you'd know. The biggest thing we got is a few restaurants and a grocery store that sticks out as like a sore thumb. It's called Piggly Wiggly. We got a couple thrift stores. And I've been here. I've lived in this neighborhood for my whole life, just about, except for probably 2 or 3 years in McDonald, Tennessee, that I recall. And my mom used to. She moved around a little bit, but we stayed in Tennessee. I never have traveled anywhere, basically. One time I went to J Fest, and that took me to Chickamauga, Georgia. It was on a little piece of Chickamauga, Georgia, but that was it. That's as far as I've been out of state. I at one time I could have went to Florida. I could have went to a lot of places. I could have went to Pigeon Forge. I turned that down. I turned Dollywood down. For several reasons. Like I said, I've said it in videos before. But there was some reasons I turned that stuff down. For another thing, I was a kid then. I didn't really want to do much. I didn't want to travel. I didn't want to say. It's just there's no reason. But I'm just who I am, and not a lot of people know of me or don't see me on here. I guess when I'm doing a video or whatnot, but I've put my wife's stuff down here in case there was some young lady said, hey, I like somebody honest. I like somebody who's straight up, who don't drink, who don't smoke, who don't do drugs, who don't go out there and get, we don't have a car. Yes, we don't have a lot of things. But what we do got gets our bills paid. And yeah, we got a payee who does our bills. But it's too much to ask for one thing, one person to do something that you'd like to see get done. Whether it gets done or not ain't up to me or my wife. But everybody else could get almost anything else. Like I said, my wife, at one time, she couldn't even walk out here. People up here, we got apartments right next door to us. And she couldn't, bless her heart, she couldn't even walk out there for somebody tromping down from them apartments up there. I nicknamed them the crack whore apartments because what happened up here a little over a year ago. Had a lady lie to us about being homeless. She was actually not homeless. She was just living with her parents. She was 30 years old. Like I said, I made a whole bunch of videos and brought that up a lot. But anyway, so, like I said, everybody else can offer friendship. They can offer all that other stuff. That's not what we're here for. That's not, that don't get me and my wife nowhere. It wouldn't even fill me or my wife up. In the situation that we're in and everything else, it would not help our situation. And we've got like 11 or 12 subscribers. That's more than I can say for most. For most, I guess. I mean, for me, I've got, like I said, I've got some stuff on here that I put playlists on, and a lot of them I try to, I dip into the wrestling or sports or something. I may find some, and again, I don't upload videos on here personally myself, but no, my wife's come out here a million times and it's told you and told people, but all I get is somebody saying something. One time I brought up an old school friend of mine named Roxanne, and supposedly her brother saw one of my videos where I made a video, and my wife didn't know I was going to make it, but she didn't understand at the time what. And afterwards I told her, I said, I was just talking about my old school memories. And he got it twisted up and took it the wrong way, as you would expect. And because, like I said, we've been at this for a while now. And I said, yeah, if she was, if Roxanne was available, I at least met her and I knew of her. But she didn't want anything to do with me. I was just reliving some old school memories. I didn't say she was going to take anything at all. Last thing I knew, the last time I contacted her, she still mistreated me after all these years. Got mad because I was trying to tell somebody on her page what I thought of him, because he took my comment backwards. And my nice comment, a gesture that I was making a good, nice comment about one of her pictures or something, or I said something, I don't remember now. And but anyway, I moved on from that. But my wife has tried people out here, and they already got friends, they already got things up their honey in and everything else. But no, I don't want anything to do with anybody that I'm going to offend or take. I ain't worried about politics. I ain't worried about what everybody else is worried about that. I'm not worried about the freaking ghost in the sky, a UFO, a Bigfoot, or any other hilarious, non realistic thing. I'm not worried about it. I'm not saying the whole God thing is all a bunch of shit exactly, but I'm saying there's not enough proof for me to decipher or go out and look and to be able to find out what I need to find out. Now, people who's actually here on Earth can actually make a life story, a book, and you get the real deal. But I'm just saying, I'm not here to fight and fuss over that stuff, religion and politics, and worrying about whether I'm making everybody else happy. I've done what everybody else wants. I put that out here before. I've done what everybody wants. My family wants. I've tried that stuff. I've tried everything. I've tried people I used to go to school with. And everything that they've thrown at me. When I used to work at Hardee's, for God's sakes, I was there for 5 fucking years almost. And I had people coming up to me, young girls back then, coming up to me in their 20s and whatever, coming up to me saying, oh, Derek, they'd offered me friendship, and they'd offered me to meet their husbands and their and their kids or whatever it is. And I had one right before I quit. I had one come up to me in a grocery store, and I told her, "You don't have time for me or my wife." And I don't even remember her name, but I'm just saying. I told her all this. I said, "Look, you go find you somebody that you and your man can go to that has a car, that has a way to get around, that would better benefit you. You know, what me and my wife have is enough for me and her, and it makes us happy. It might not make everybody else happy, but it's I'm ignoring these comments because I'm making my own video. I know they're probably bad, so I'm not gonna waste my time. But I'm just telling you, that I know a lot of these people are easy to offend. That's why I told my wife she can't just bring anybody up. She's tried me. Many of her girlfriends, many of her past stuff. She's tried her family on me. None of them worked. They all had their own thing made up. They already had their mind made up what they wanted to do and all this stuff. And nobody has any respect. Like I said, you take 9/11, for example. Everybody thought that would straighten everybody up. Oh, it did. It made everybody worse. You take this virus thing we had a couple of years ago, and that was blown up 20 times out of proportion. So much so. Because, like I said, there's no way they kept up with everybody that died and everybody that passed away. Like I said, I know it happened, but there's no way that that's even close to being accurate. I know how it happened because everybody was traveling and bringing everybody else over here, and vice versa. Like I said, we shouldn't be allowing people who we shouldn't even go over and entertain going overseas and going over to countries and eating that nasty food. They don't tell them where it's been or what the pollution's like over there or whatever you want to call it. The air that they're breathing in over there. They have a hard life over there in them countries. Ours probably ain't the best either. But, we need to worry about ourselves, We got 50 states. We ought to be worried about everybody else and going out there. And, well, Derek, what if there's family? What if I still wouldn't really go over there. I might catch something, bring something back like we had happen over here a couple of years ago. Everybody was getting used to those checks, the government was sending out, the stimulus money checks and all that stuff, And I told the local ones out here, I said, well, don't get used to it because that's only temporary. So don't think you're going to get $2,000 or $3,000 from the government. I mean, they hate doing this SSI check stuff for the handicapped people. But, it was put into law. It's one of the only things they can't tinker with. Like old Donald Trump fucking everything up that past presidents had done. Everybody sticks up for Trump and likes the fact that he likes to have guns and he, nobody thinks about what he said and how he words things and everything that he says was ass backwards. They're more worried about, he fixed the economy, Derek. Yeah, duh, that's what most presidents do. But I ain't worried about it because, we're always doing something backwards. Now we're involving ourselves in wars and everything else. All that time, people gripe about gas going up. Well, if we quit sticking our nose in everybody else's business and quit worrying about who's causing a war or whatever, every time you turn around, like I said this the other day, every time you turn around, the president of the United States of America, no matter who it is, always got to go to war. They got to stick their nose in something. That's why I'm going to mark my words. I don't put time on nothing. I don't sit here and I'm not Nostradamus or whatever you call him. But I'll tell you this, we're going to get 10 times worse if we keep fooling around with these other countries and involving ourselves in them wars. We ain't learned nothing since the days of George W. Bush going over there and getting in all them and losing all these soldiers and all these men and women over this stupid stuff that can be compromised. And there's ways of getting around most of the time having wars. But that's why the gas prices are going up, for one thing. Another thing, it depends on where you live. You know, when my dad went up to California and around, at that time when my brother was in the Navy, he went up there for a short while. And he got a job for a short time up there at Burger King. He said, man, that it's a lot different. The pricing and all the stuff, you know, is different, and what you make is different. The whole 9 yards. They have to have higher. There's higher cost of living and everything else. Like I said, I've had people that's had been interested in our unicorn bestie offer for a long time. We had several, but they're always out of state. They always don't want to go too far. It ain't my fault that y'all live hours away or hundreds of miles away or whatever you want to call it. But we put stuff out there. We want something local, something in our local area. But it ain't come yet. But I said, you know, I don't make these videos for anything but just to, you know, give us something to go back and do, to watch. My wife likes when I'm honest in how I talk. She's used to me. She's been with me 11 years now. We got married on August 18th, 2011. But no, I probably ruffled a few feathers by what I'm bringing up, but it's the same thing about when we had that and come up here. The only thing she won't talk about is how somebody touched her and raped her and all this stuff. And then I told my wife, I said, that sounds like one of them dang talk shows, like Steve Wilkos or something. I told her, and I've said this out on video, I said, if these women out here keep their damn legs shut and quit inviting people to look at them wearing them provocative clothes and all that stuff, like I said, I've seen women's clothing. I know that there's clothing out there that's nice and comfortable. You don't have to wear shorts showing off your legs, your belly, and your back, and everything else. And giving all the other all the other males out there a reason to go up there and do something stupid like that. That's why a lot of people gets hurt. That's why a lot of people gets their killing, and that's why a lot of people gets in the messes they do. That's why you see stuff like this. Because nobody does anything right. Nobody knows how to raise their kids right up anymore. I just had a couple of them up here, but a little over a year ago. One was okay, the other one wasn't, because she wasn't going to get to see Daddy. Well, like I said, I've made a whole video about them people, and I'm sorry I ever met them. My wife and I don't deserve that. And like I've told before, I'm not saying that me and my wife are the most deserving people, because nobody ain't. Nobody's perfect no matter what they say. Nobody's perfect at the end of the day. But I'm saying if they was somebody with sense, somebody with some kind of, if they knew they wanted this offer out here like me and my wife hoped, then they would do what they know was necessary. Yes, you're going to have to come to us. We're not a traveling bus. We're not going to be out there knowing where you're at. And like I said, Athens has probably got at least double, if not triple, the amount of people. So I know my videos and my wife's videos and participation in the videos are what they are. And I know a lot of people have viewed them. I don't know how many, because I make videos not every day, but practically every day. But I mean, sometimes I'll go 2 or 3 days or a week. If I'm sick, I won't be on here. If I'm sick, or something, if I don't feel like being on here. But I mostly enjoy, coming out and just letting everybody know how we are and what our day's like and what we got to talk about. Sometimes it'll rub somebody the wrong way. Somebody might take it the wrong way. That's life. That's life. That's like I said. Everybody always brings up about judging people. You judge people on behalf of everything, material things, what they look like on the outside, what they don't like, everything. So everybody judges everybody. I told my wife, that's one thing I see a lot when I have had social media. A lot of people say, "Oh, God will judge us. God will do this." God won't do shit. It's a made up piece of shit to try to scare people, saying there's hell or there's heaven or there's pearly gates. It's a spiritual thing, people. Your spirit, not your actual body. Your actual body, once it's dead in the ground or it's cremated. There is no truth to anything religious as far as what happens after you die. If your spirit goes, if somebody like me, for example, take me for example, I'm the only one that I know since my dad's passed away that keeps my dad's memory alive. I talk about him almost every day. I like the way my dad brought me up. I like the way that he instilled a lot of his stuff in me. He might not say the things I say exactly the way I say them, but he was capable of doing it. But like my wife said, wasn't he a good man? Yeah. My dad was one of the best ones you could have got. He's the best. He was the best thing my mama could have had if she'd had her head on straight. But like I said, you can't make them see a good nobody. That's why, like I said, I've put out a video before about how the reason why my family was giving me a hard time about this. I wasn't trying to come between our families. They were showing their ugly signs long before my wife ever met me, especially mine. And they didn't want me to have no women around. If it was a guy, they were fine. And this is way back when I was a little bitty thing. They used to always tease me and tell me, "Oh, Derek, you going out on a date tonight, you getting all nice and dressed up," and they'd aggravate me. And then when I would bring somebody home, or if I would ever, well, I didn't do it, but I'm saying after I graduated, I had a couple things, one of them that I seen off Sethra. My grandmother gave me hard time on that, wouldn't do nothing. All of a sudden, she just magically started acting up and laying in the bed and everything else. Like I said, I've made a whole video on that, how that came to be, and the best of my knowledge, what went on there, because like I said, I don't know what caused it. I'm still trying to figure out how all of a sudden, like I said, I lived a long time with my grandmother and them, and I said, hey, if we had something like this that came out of nowhere like this, and if they would have accepted what we were trying to do, I was trying to give them a break. I thought it would be nice to have a young adult that liked our offer at that time. Now we don't have anything to do with nobody, so in our families. But at the time, that's what the Kerry Walker one was about. But they had it in their mind that we were trying to undermine the family and that we were trying to do this or do that. And they always have other people. Like I said, my grandmother was one of the world's worst at gossiping and wouldn't keep her mouth shut. That was their big problem. That's why I'm on blood pressure pills now, because of one of the things that she got into. And like I said, I noticed for a long time she used to have a habit. Every time she walked in the store, she used to go up to people she didn't even hardly know, and they could just start talking, and she'd start running that mouth 100 miles a minute. I could sit there, me and my wife could sit in the store, the same exact thing, and the only thing we'd get out of it is somebody wanting to take us home for a ride. Or, like in my wife's case, not long ago, she'd have a couple of people give out their number and say, "Oh, yeah, anytime you need to go somewhere, I'll take you." What good is that? Youngins. I'm not talking about senior citizens. I'm talking about somebody our age, in our age group. And I had to call one of them up not long ago and tell them, I said, "You're going to stop it." I said, "If you're going to play games," because my wife didn't ask you to start talking to her in the car personally. I know my wife. I live with her. Yeah, she wants something to do with a young lady like I do, somebody respectful, somebody who respects our handicap and understands why we're handicapped. We didn't have anything to do with how we got here. And like I said, if you bothered to look up who was the first woman, who was the first man to ever walk the earth, it doesn't say God. It doesn't name a name. It don't know. That's what it says. I've looked it up. So anybody believes God was the first man on earth, he's probably not. Like I said, there's no factual proof of who the first man or woman was or how we got here exactly. So everything you read in the Bible is not going to be totally right neither. Because there's a lot of questions that remain unanswered. And that's why I'm saying I can't change everything and everybody, but I'm just telling you what I know to be factual as far as it goes with me. How I would raise somebody up versus how a lot of people would. I remember when I was a kid, I still got whoopings. I got time out. I got some, every now and again I got grounded. I wasn't the worst kid by no means, but a couple of times I would do it like any kid does, and they'd have a day where they just, one time I brought a bad report card home. I never did it again. I got a whooping for that. I never did it again. I learned. Like I said, a lot of times it wasn't the same things. It was just different things. Sometimes, and now if you gave a kid a whooping, everybody's afraid to now because, they got laws out there. They got this or they got that. Just raise them how you know to raise somebody. That's all you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And thank you for the like out there, whoever you are. I'm glad somebody take notice. And I appreciate you. I'll thank you, whoever you are out there, while I'm on here. Because it ain't very often you get somebody who understands. You'll get everybody that says you need a counselor. You need to go to this. You need to go to that. You're your own person. If you can't help yourself, then me or my wife, like I said, I don't care who you was. I can't help you if you don't help yourself. I can't help you get over everything that you go through if you can't say, "Hey, I'm the one that made those mistakes." If I want to tell somebody about my bad past, I'd take a chance on hearing. And a lot of people have accused me or my wife of saying, "Well, you didn't really go through that, so you don't really have a horse in it." Well, I reckon we do because we know right from wrong. We're not out there causing wrecks. We're not out there in jail behind bars for stupid stuff we know is wrong. We're not drinking and driving. We're not doing drugs. If I could be president of the United States, Lord help me, I'd like to see people starve for drugs and marijuana and all this other stuff. That's why our heads filled up or crooked. Not me or my wife, but most people out there voting on legalizing marijuana. What's next? Cocaine? What are they going to do next? Next thing you know, any drug's going to be legalized, any street drug. Next thing you know. And now, and at the rate we're going, I mean, if there wasn't no guns on the streets, just imagine how many lives would be saved today. Imagine if the cops couldn't have guns. Imagine how safe it would be. Yeah, they could still use a knife, Derek, or somebody might say, "Oh, well, they could use a pot or pan." Well, okay. But that's household appliances. If I'd like to see guns off the streets, period, if I were to speak up. And I would like to see kids not have to go to school and worry about some other kid having a mental breakdown and bringing in guns and stuff. I like to see the days when somebody could go out there, instead of promoting their sexist movements or their fucking gay-wadded movements or whatever it is that tickles their fancy, actually do something nice and get some of this crap off the streets that would actually improve the world. And instead of going online and asking and having these girls asking for cards and money, and these people that's done us this way that we didn't ask, but come out and they say, oh, I wish that was illegal. Gift cards, you shouldn't be able to go and take it up to the counter and get money off of it. That should be illegal, if you're asking me. There's a lot of things. Like I said, the gay marriages and the whole 9 yards, and about the now men marry men and women marrying women and all that stuff. Like I said, I'm not the most religious person, but we're getting to where everything that is going on in this world, we are exempting my wife and I. But most people are so stupid. The first thing anything is said from anybody, they'll believe. It ain't that hard to con somebody into believing anything. Like I said, if you were trying to get everybody to do right and the way everything should be done and stress-free and everybody wants to do right. These Bibles, I'll go on a little bit further. These Bibles, for example, will tell you that God made all these churches, that he made the world and he made all this stuff. Well, that might be true. Maybe he started it. But what if we just gave up cold turkey, right? He didn't build every church that's out here. He didn't pave every road that's out here now. We're doing that. We're cleaning our houses. We're feeding our kids. We're not sitting here waiting on some magical dust, fairy dust, come out of the ground or come out of the sky and it just lay stuff at our feet. That's what God really is. It's a thing that everybody's got in their mind. It's poison. Just like all the stuff about the Santa Claus, the Easter thing about how it's supposed to be about God and everything else. It's all twisted up. It's all twisted up. You'd be better being an atheist out there and worried about the things that you can do. Worrying about the people you can take care of. Worrying about the things that you can do. Go out there and get you a job. Go out there if you can and stomach somebody being over you like I can't. I can't stomach it anymore. I've had 3 different jobs and I've been mistreated. Twice I've gotten laid off. One time it was permanently. And a lot of people, you can't trust them. That's why I said when I came out of school, when I was in my 20s, I came out of school and wanted to get a job, wanted to do that stuff. I've been there. I've done that. It's no fun. It's no good. I don't like the people that works at them places half the time. They got their own lives to live. But I said, if anything is more true today, technology has ruined everything. My dad used to not want a cell phone except for what he had as a basic phone that had call and text on it. I had a phone myself that when I was 16 in 2000, I got my first phone. It had a few hundred texts and a few hundred minutes. Everybody started complaining and moaning and groaning and bitching and all this stuff. And now everybody's got to pay $20 more, $30 more for Verizon and all this stuff just to have unlimited internet. If you have 2 people, I'm talking about 2 people, even if you take one person, you're still paying $30 more. I was paying $30 when I had the few hundred minutes and the few hundred texts, when there was no such thing as internet. That's why I said Facebook and Twitter's, you won't even let you send out friend requests anymore. And they're worried about, but yet you can get 500 people sending you a friend request, and it don't seem like they stop you. But if my wife's on there looking around and seeing what's on there, and actually we're using our stuff, or was at the time, trying to see what these people were about, and seeing if they be somebody want our offer. We wasn't writing anything bad, but yet somebody can go out there and have 500 friend requests, and they'll be like, you'll see somebody say, "Oh, Derek, this person says she got 500 friend requests." Woo! And they're like, "Why am I getting all this attention?" Well, they just like what they see with their eyes. Like I said, well, that's what everybody's guilty of. Just imagine if we didn't have our eyes to look at things. And like I said, it goes without saying. That's our biggest out of all of our senses. Our eyes are probably our worst, because they influence us to do bad things for some reason or another. We just don't have, a lot of people don't have the capability to know better for some reason. And you can't make everybody see what you're trying to get to them. But, that's why I said you can't just lay any old person at my feet and expect me to make chicken soup or chicken salad out of it. It's a problem all over the world, in every country. Like I told yesterday on the video, and I'll go into this again. I said it on that video. I said, there's countries out there that won't allow women to drive. There's countries out there that won't allow women to wear the clothes they'd like to wear. Like I said, I'm not against thongs, bikinis, and the whole 9 yards or whatever. If you're in your own personal space and you want to do that at home, but when you're out and about, I don't think you should be wearing stuff that's showing your belly and your back and and all that stuff. When you're a woman, it's different. When you're a guy, unless you've got 6-pack abs, unless you're a bodybuilder or something along those lines, you don't have no reason to, be doing that. I mean, it just influences what's going on in the world. I mean, people have lost their jobs over these senseless movements that's come out in the last several years. These goddamn people gets on live TV, on CNN and everywhere else, and they lie about people. Poor old Enzo Amore, one of them, a wrestler that I don't particularly like, but he got lied on by his ex. She come out and admitted it such. And it cost him his job because of something that she was jealous of him having that attention and him being an actual wrestler. And now, but I'm just using it as an example. But I mean, like I said, people picked up on all this stuff, and nothing's done about it. On the woman's behalf, they can sit up here and lie all they wanted to, and it gets people like me in trouble. And it could happen to anybody. You could be sitting here, and like I told my wife, you could be sitting here and having a good day. I remember when we first moved up here, there wasn't nothing but a bunch of these damn fucking drug addict people up here. I had a freaking trailer up here. Old Candy herself had that mess going on. Who had to stop it? Me. I put my foot down. I said, I don't give a damn if that's your property or not. I said, I'm not handing nobody I don't know my stuff, my tools, what little tools I do got, and money, much less anything. I got to get to know you. I got to do what I got to do. I'm not going to just sit there and say, oh, I know you just because I spotted you out at the store or something like that or whatever. I got to get to know you. If you want to give me and my wife time to get to know you, we'll get to know you. But if you don't, I don't do like a lot of people do. Yeah, what would you do, Derek, if you and your wife were out there in another portion of a state or something, or in a big like Los Angeles, California, or New York or whatever, well, I'd hope I had the same respect as I had when I was here. I'd hope I didn't go to proms and get mixed up into the stuff. I hope I entertained myself and waited till I got a certain age to do things, and then wanted to go out there, and if I wanted to do certain things or something like I want to do for somebody right now, if I wanted to make room for something like that and make a nice offer, whether they take it or not, it's not up to me. Like I said, I have no rights, no papers on nobody. I told my wife that. That's what I'm saying. There would have to be some things that changed. You know, we offered somebody up there a year ago, a little over a year ago, you know, our hearts, and thought we were doing the right thing, and she just come up in here and just started running all over us. And because she was already letting me know, oh, you gotta let me see your kid and my friends, my girlfriends, my pill buddies, and the whole 9 yards. She was getting sleeping pills from some of them up there. They learned. I wrote letters up there, like 4 or 5 different ones, and they realized they made the mistake of letting her up there part time, even at all. Like I said, you don't even hear a peep. My wife said now, and that's so quiet. You don't. They stay in their apartment. They do whatever they got to do, and that's it. I guess it's just like I said, it's family and stuff. But my wife had an ex boyfriend or whatever was up there, and that's how all that got started. She'd never went up there at night on his behalf, and she had never known that was up there. But anyway, like I said, it's sad what the world, you know, somebody famous can get more attention out of somebody and get people to waste their money and their time and start a movement that's free Britney Spears or who is it next? You know what I'm saying? It's just people, and somebody might say, well, I listened to her music and I liked her stuff. Well, I did too, but I didn't go out there sending money for her or praising her or for the things that she's done bad. You know, go out there and milk her, problems and make her do something 10 times worse. That's all we're doing. If we're handing out money, and there's people out there like me and my wife and everything else that's got money that they need for their own houses, their own needs, and then it seems like these celebrities can go out there and make these GoFundMe's or whatever they call them and all this craziness. You know, we'd be a lot better off if we went back to the old days of just TV, the way it used to be, and the newspaper and all that. And because back in the old days, the only way you met somebody is when you went into a store. Everybody's lost it. You can't. A lot of times you can't see people going to stores half the time anymore without their phone being on and going off, and you can't shop. You can't think for half this stuff. Even nowadays, cars can have fucking phone calls coming through the fucking speakers. Well, it's just so stupid. Where's the days when you had a pay phone and when you had, if you was out, you had to pay a dime or a quarter or whatever it was, 35 cents. And next thing you know, you had a home phone at home that you had, you know, in your own home. You had a landline phone. My great granny Dot, that's passed away now, but she had a rotary phone. Those you go like this, and then go backwards. She had that, and she never, like I said, she would sit there and talk to you about anything. I mean, she'd watch her soap operas, she'd watch Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, what have you, but she would just get the kick out of it, of just having somebody sit there and talk. And a lot of times I would sometimes do that versus going shopping if I was given the option, because you know my great granny meant a lot to me. Like I said, she had her own issues there toward the end of her life, you know, and things that she couldn't help, She got dementia and things of that nature. Some stuff came up, but I like to remember the good times that I had with people. Like I said, I've been through most of what I've been through is stuff I couldn't help. I didn't foresee the changes that was gonna happen as bad as they were. I knew there would be changes, but I didn't know it'd be this drastic. So, I mean, but I could just tell you, I don't have to know a person to know what somebody, how to tell somebody. I mean, if you give me something and you tell me something, expect the truth to come out. And that's why I said I ought to come. People like me ought to come with a warning label because they ain't but a few of us left. But no, I think anybody who's listening, because this might help somebody. You might take some of this stuff and say, "Look, he's right. We're worried about things that we can't fix. If at best it's temporary." Like I said, a lot of the stuff that we vote on, or that I've only voted one time for a president, and that was in 2016. Yeah, I voted for old Trump fuck, but you didn't have much of a choice. It's either him or old Hillary, and I was voting. Main reason I voted that year, and I wouldn't have voted that year, but I voted that year because Jackie Melton was running for sheriff, and I like Jackie Melton, and he's the local sheriff of Meigs County, Decatur, and so I voted for him, and on the side, and he's been sheriff up here for a long time, for several decades, and and I know a few of them, and I like a few of the, ones that's up here. But like I said, and I tried my best. Like I said, I never was a big people person. I always kind of stayed to myself at school. And my wife asked me, "Derek, did you ever have this or that?" And I'd say no. I got the friends I got because I was able to do my work. I was almost the first one done, and they realized, hey, he could help me. I got people coming to me. Teachers even seen it. Teachers was like, well, he's become most popular, just doing his work, getting his work done. I'm not claiming to be the smartest knife in the drawer and never will be, but like I said, I used to be a pretty good speller in school, but I find myself, if I don't spell a word after so long, or if it's a word I've not really used, yeah, I have trouble with it spelling. But if you were to say, hey, there's a test that you got to pass or something here, I could study it and get it, whatever I had to get out of it, and try to pass it. But, like I said, nobody's perfect. One of these days, somebody's going to say, oh, I'm a perfect speller, and one of these days something might happen where you lose that. And then you're going to have to go back, and you're going to look bad at telling people and making fun of people for misspelling stuff. If I do it, I don't mean to. But people take offense on stuff like that a lot of times. You don't realize, a lot of times you could lose your brain and your memory up here. One of these days it's going to happen. One of these days right now you could have two perfect legs, two perfect arms, and something might just all of a sudden hit you. You might be out there and an accidental wreck or something might happen to you. You might wind up kind of like me and my wife. I don't wish that on nobody, but I'm just saying. You could wind up, you could be one of them that sassed somebody and said stuff about their color, their skin, or anything else out here in the world. All this stuff, and you be on the receiving end of something later. And you're going to look back at all this stuff and said, man, if I just kept my mouth shut, like a lot of times I'd give opinions on the wrestling or Freddie Freeman on the Braves. I'd have some of these smart aleck people on social media taking, my opinions out of whack, and if I didn't agree with them, there's one or two of them would felt led to come out here and and beat me up over it. I said, well, if they get up there on the main roster, such as Bailey, I think who it was, yeah. Uh, I said, I said, well, if she gets out of NXT and she gets on the main roster and she can put a 5-star match on in front of people at Raw or SmackDown or something, and I watch it because I don't watch wrestling like I used to. But I said if she could do that, because I didn't watch NXT, I don't watch the WWE Network or Peacock or the Cock, as Jim Cornette calls it, the Cock. But and like I said, the Freddie Freeman thing, I was just saying, hey, he's a good defensive first baseman, but a lot of times he's hot and cold. He's sort of 50-50 at best. And the people just came out there, and it was funny. I mean, I just couldn't help, but I had to come back and just get back. I had fun with it. Like I said, had they just passed it up and went on like a lot of the people, and they just, whatever, then they'd been fine. But they just can't help themselves. You can't have an opposite opinion and have people respect that, hey, just because they don't agree with me doesn't mean that I'm wrong or that they're wrong. Everybody has an opinion. And I think everybody's entitled to their opinion. Like I said, I got a like on my video, and I got, somebody to like what I'm saying. There's people that don't agree with it, and that's fine. You meet those kinds of people. I know that. I've seen both. I've been on both sides of the fence. I've had people in my family who've done drugs, who've drunk and who smoked. I just never wished to do it. I was taught not to do it. Derek, don't wind up like me. I took that to heart. All of my mama's kids took that to heart. That's one thing I could say. She didn't do good herself, but she had enough sense to tell her kids, which was still our choice. We could have wound up like her. She would have took us either way, because she's our mama. But I'm just telling you, or anybody's mama out there would have done the same thing. Probably they would have kind of hated you for it at the time, but they would have grown to like you because they're your kid. So if you want to go out there and do wrong, I'm sure they would have found a way to support your habit. Like I said, a lot of that stuff that we, why does it matter if beer's sold on Sundays? God dang, they'll just sell it year round, every day. Ain't nothing wrong with it. My Lord, at least if they're over the age of 18 or whatever it is, 21 now. Excuse me. 21, then they should be allowed to sell that stuff year round. But they're afraid. Like I said, a lot of this boils down to people afraid to go to school and say something. If they want religion in schools and they want stuff to go on in schools, and like I said, they stuff out here I would rather have taught in schools than half that stuff that's taught in schools today. Half of it we don't even use. English we probably use the most. Add, subtract, simple math, times tables. We probably use that more than anything. I do. And I'm not the smartest knife in the drawer, but you don't need algebra. You don't need social studies and science and all that. It's good to kind of know. You definitely don't need history. I mean, if you're asking me, I don't care about what happened in the war, who did what, or what the president of the United States did. I don't care. It's all wash to me. But it's amazing how you can actually get people to loan you this kind of stuff that you only get 5 minutes. Or you could go out and somebody say, oh yeah, I'll offer you I'll come around you to do this one thing, and then I'll go home. Somebody's brother, somebody's sister, aunt, uncle, whatever could call, and that could be canceled. That's why I would like to have something that I knew was permanent, that was a for life thing, this unicorn bestie thing. you know, I'd rather see something permanent that I could literally. What is it? Oh, uh-oh. But, uh-oh. But, no, I mean, I hope all people do well that's out there and does good. I wish for good instead of bad. But I'm not going to support, one thing I'm not going to put up with, and I'm not supporting nobody who's recovered from this stuff, who goes to these lackluster programs and carries on about, needing support. They should have had their own sense enough to know better. Because a lot of them, you can have whatever you want. But, do I feel bad for them? Not really. Because when you think about it, everybody these counselors and these people, I had people up here, and if I hadn't have experienced it myself, I wouldn't be able to talk about it as much. But they helped me. You can't listen to Johnny Cash. You can't listen to REM or Green Day or whatever have you. You can't, if you go to a counselor and you told them what kind of music you watched or what kind of movies you watched, you can't go up there and tell this stuff to nobody. I had my own grandmother, speaking of something, I had my own grandmother go to one of these fucking dipshits and go up here and tell, and she's over blaming me for staying with her all those years. I'm the one that made her go into bed and lay in the bed and all this craziness. I spoke on it before, but it's something, like I said, kind of on my heart today. And she went and let this guy tell her that I was the problem when she took me in. When my mama put me up there and stuff and had me up there for 2 weeks. She was supposed to come back and get us. She said she supposedly done it because somebody was on drugs and she didn't want us around that, somebody in the family, and I don't know. Like I said, it's a long time ago. I don't even remember it. But I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm just saying, I don't have any physical proof of it or memories of it. But, I tell you, I just, I could have made decisions that I could have done what I wanted to do. I could have been out there and become a singer. I could have been a ring announcer, a commentator. If I wanted to put my family through what I wanted to put them through, if I didn't have enough respect to respect them, I've been blamed for everything under the sun. They said, "Oh, careful." But I've been blamed for everything under the sun. If you ask my family, they would blame me for the reasons they didn't have a lot of their family up there, or a lot of their distant family, whatever you want to call them. There's probably 400 or 500 kids I don't know about. There's probably I was given choices, people. I'm living proof. I was given choices. I was given the right to say yes or no if I wanted to go home. If I wanted to stay home and not go to a layman reunion, I was given that option. I used to watch when people come up there and help my papa with his hay and his stuff. I didn't say they couldn't be up there. It was not my house. But I said, hey, I'm going to be out there doing what kids do, playing. I'm not going to, before JC and Dixie come along, and before Regina got married and my Uncle Jason got married, everything was pretty well okay. But when they got married and then they had kids of their own, Regina didn't, but my Uncle Jason had them 2 brats. I'll tell you why I call them that in a minute. But, it's simple, and I'll simplify it for you. They would ask me, what are you watching? Occasionally, very rarely, but they'd say, Derek, what are you watching? I'd say Atlanta Braves or, wrestling, and I'd have it on. And yes, I like singing. I like to do stuff. And I was hated on for that. I couldn't even go in my own room and sing. Everybody'd hate it. My grandmother and everything. She'd say, Derek, it's bothering me. Get on my nerves. I have my door shut and I'm singing. I like singing. I like music. Music's a good thing for somebody. It's good to go out and get a walk. If I ever had a lady up here that took this offer and my wife said, hey, I'd let them know that, hey, yeah, sometimes if my wife goes for a walk, she'll be back. If something, she just felt like she needed to go out and get 5 minutes, she'll be right back. She don't mean no disrespect. If she thinks it's best, go out there and cool off for a minute. Because, like I said, anybody's going to have an issue once in a while. Anybody you get. But it's compromise, That's what my dad used to always like to use. It's compromise. People fail to be, they're afraid they're going to upset somebody if they do right. If they always do right, they're going to be accused of being perfect. Well, you could say I'm living proof of that. Because they look at me because I don't do the things that everybody else does. Like I said, you could have a whole host of people if you were out there partying and drinking and having sex with everybody and everybody was just doing whatever everybody wanted. Like I said, if you wanted to literally believe that God is somebody real, and if he were here, he'd make you fucking miserable. You wouldn't have the jobs that you have or the stuff that, just imagine what would be here, what kind of clothes you'd be having to wear versus what you want to wear, right? You'd have him in your bed. He'd be in your bed probably fucking over you like a goddamn, whatever. Kind of, I would hate to have this motherfucker and his goons up my ass. I want to go out and do what I want to do. I want to go out, and if I want to work at a strip bar, I want to work at a strip bar. If I want to work at Hardee's, I want to work at Hardee's. If I want to be a singer, I want to be a singer. I want to go out there and get my feet wet. But if it was up to him, God, I'm talking about, or Jesus of Nazareth or whatever the hell, he's got like 4 or 5 different aliases. But you know what? If he had it his way, you'd be out there planting gardens. You'd be out there almost naked as a jaybird. I've even looked in kids' Bibles and saw these naked, made-up pictures of what Jesus looks like or whatever, and what this Adam and Eve looks like or whatever. And then they go and say, oh, yeah, they got punished for eating off the tree. And it's all a bunch of horse shit. If I want to eat, I want to eat. Like I said, if we had no guns, take this for example. If we had no guns, we wouldn't have to kill animals. We wouldn't hurt innocent animals. Am I the world's greatest animal lover? No. But do I think it should be illegal to go out there and hunt deers, hunt turkeys, and all that stuff? I do. Because you're killing innocent animals. Yeah, there's meat on them. That's a portion of the problem. I'm not a vegetarian, but I'm just saying, I realize what the problems are. That's also why it's okay to also influence kids of guns with movies, music. Yeah, if you want to listen to a gospel music and you want to do that and you want to believe that there's a higher power and that he served you well, or if you want to believe in that stuff, go right ahead. I'm not going to say that it all ain't fake, but it all ain't realistic either in a lot of ways. Because they ain't just something magically going to come down just because you are going through a rough time. Yeah, you might pray like I did and end up with my wife like I did at one time. Because I went to church back over 10 years ago there for a while. And from 2009 to 2011. And I was going to Walnut Grove. I asked my dad what church he went to. And I just got in the mood. I wanted to go to that stuff. I hadn't been to it in a long time. I'm not the most religious person in the world. Yeah, at one time I was saved or whatever you want to say. And I when I go somewhere, when I go to churches, when I go to
Hello.
Oh, hello. Here's my wife. She wanted to let you see it.
Hello.
Hello. They've been talking. I don't know what it all is. Here, sit down. Okay. But no. Here, this moves. But no. It's just it's one thing when you got somebody. And like I said, you can't straighten up everybody. But I'm just telling you what the facts are. We need to get out there and create a movement of our own, and we need to. My wife's kind of going through some of this stuff. I don't know what was said. I'm over here. I'm just making a video. But just read them quietly. Don't disturb me. If it's anything bad, I don't want to know about it. But because like I said, I expect that. But I'm appreciative of the 2 likes. I see now I got 2 likes, and I'm appreciative of all the people that come out here and all my subscribers and all the people. Everybody has an opinion. It's like they say, the old saying is, everybody's got an opinion. It's like everybody's got an asshole or whatever it is. Everybody's got one or whatever it is. So again, but I'm just telling you, I'm the one that's factual. You can think what you want, and you can twist it up. You can have anybody twist your arm and your leg, but your family sometimes ain't the best thing for you. I've come to know that after I've gotten older. When I gotten older, I realized I just didn't matter. All that stuff I got on Christmas, my birthdays, and all that stuff that they did was just fake. It's just something to keep me happy, to keep me shut up, to keep me, thinking that they really loved me. If they loved me like they say they do, they wouldn't ever turn their back on me. For no reason. They would support you, even if they didn't agree with everything that you have spoke of, which I've spoke of in this video, right? Well, I can honestly say that I'm living proof of one of those people who've been mistreated and misunderstood my whole life by everybody, my mother. The only person I can't throw under the bus is my dad. He's the only person that never changed. He always took care of his kids. He always knew what was right. When he did mess up, it was very little. And when he did, he sat down and he would talk about it with us. If he, and like when he had his second wife, and he came to me later on and talked to me about it. And I told him in that, I said, Dad, I had too much respect for you. You hadn't had nobody in a long time, but I saw some stuff. I saw signs and stuff that might go potentially bad, but I didn't want to interfere in it. If you want me to know about it, I'll listen to you. He waited till a few years later and told me about some stuff. He wanted to tell me. So I had respect for that. I don't meddle. I can't help it, but some people can get like me and my wife and have stuff accidentally happen without you having to do anything. Everybody thinks we're the ones doing it, and it's not. But my wife's gonna comment, so why I'm talking. But no, I just when I got something out here, it's one of the ways I come out here and let people know how me and my wife's doing and how our days are going. And
I ain't one.
What are you eating?
Pimmer.
Oh, fine. Here, go give that to old Buster. He'll eat it.
Honey, you need to eat.
I'll eat in a little bit. I'll eat in a little bit. I'll make me something. He'll eat it.
You're a big
But old Buster, we got some bunnies. We got some bunnies out here that we
She's like a pig.
that come to us. We got names for them. Old Buster,
Well, I
and,
rescued them.
Old Buster, and Daisy, Thumper, and Jerry.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh,
Whatever.
I was writing some.
Oh, go ahead. But no, we put our stuff out yesterday. We put what we have for this unicorn bestie if she shows up. Out on the video from yesterday, whatever the most recent one was, and and it's little stuff. It's not big stuff. It's like makeup, lip gloss and different things. We even got a shirt or two. We got you a free phone that we got extra. So if you don't have a phone, we got one of them through the mail that we got free. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there. We got a whole bag full we put out yesterday. So I'd invite you to go check that video out too if you want.
Oh.
But
Looks like this one either.
oh, okay. But we just invite if you'd like to spread the word out about us, tell people about us, and you enjoy talking to us or chatting with us, we invite you back. But we don't mean to ruffle feathers, but we just got to be honest. What's on our heart. It's the First Amendment right to freedom of speech, and like I said, we just come out. It's one of the few ways we got till, hopefully this computer is the longest computer we've had. It's the cheapest one I've ever bought. It was $300. And I bought it when we had the stimulus check. I should have gotten two possibly, but I only got one. And then my wife shares it. A lot of times I'm just playing the video games that's on here. Got one I like, the fish game, the fishies, and I got some other ones I play. That's usually what I'm doing. Other than the house chores, washing dishes, or whatever the usual is, that everybody does at home, we do. But like I said, we live here, we rent here. So that's why we couldn't move anybody in.
She said,
what is it?
Woman only client. I'm a female. Oh, but I'm a viewer and a fan, and I thought to talk. I will text you, okay? I want to send my unicorn application in. But no, that's why I said I wasn't paying attention to know what anybody was doing. So it's hard for me. It's easier for me to talk than just typing, especially when you're on here. But again, we just thought we might come out and do this, and nobody expected anything, and I didn't expect all this today, but it kind of gives me something to do and talk about, and and if somebody likes what we do, maybe we'll get a few more people to join us. Maybe we can all have a group chat and get some stuff done, and maybe find something nice out of it and get something. It's hard when you're trying to explain what a handicapped person goes through and what a fella goes through versus someone else that has a silver spoon in their mouth and a whole bunch of money. Like I said, a lot of these celebrities, they wasted on stuff that they don't need, like houses and cars and all that stuff. You wonder why somebody of normal. Like I said, they use the bathroom, they piss and shit and everything else like we do. They're the same thing. The only difference between them and me is they buy stuff that they don't need. They buy stuff that costs more, and the clothes, the same clothes that they buy, you can go find at Walmart somewhere and pay less for most of the time. And like I said, we had we had a ring and stuff up here we used to have, and we've gotten rid of them now. But I told my wife, I said it's okay because I said when we do find that person, if we do, we'll go get her one when we can, and we'll she wants one. But we was had them over a year and nobody had come out yet. So, and I'd made videos. My wife said, "Well, Derek, did you put everything out?" I said, "Yeah, I did. I've been out here. You've been out here. It just depends on who's out here and who's watching. I ain't trying to be a celebrity, but I'm just a regular old person that came in this world, but has his views just like everybody else. But I don't want, like I said, nobody could take care of everybody, and nobody's going to get to meet everybody in every place and everything. It's just not possible. I mean, there's just some things that ain't possible. If I could find one, like I told my wife, if I could find one young lady that was nice and treated us good, and we could treat her good and wake up to her every morning, give her a hug and a kiss or something, and treat her like our family and be like we'd like to be. If that happened, we'd be grateful. We'd be thankful, and we'd take care of her. But are we going to get that chance? Is it out there? We don't know that. But I'm saying if it is, we'd be more than happy to do it. And show you that we're legit, we're real, and that's why we come out here. We see people all the time with reborn dolls to sell and other things, and other people going out there and saying, "Hey, I got a business. I got this, or I got that." I used to have problems on the internet. Somebody saying I want a bunch of gold coins, or that I've been picked out randomly to do this or that, or somebody just, from Facebook or Twitter and all that. I don't believe in all that. If I didn't sign up for it and I didn't put my name down there, I don't believe in that stuff. So, I used to get those kind of things too. But no, that's why we put our stuff out here. Was so that we could have, and not for people to bother us and bug us and be mean to us. Well, like I said, if everybody was paying attention, we don't do cards and money. But if there's somebody out here, legitimately out here within Decatur, Tennessee, in our local area, someone we can see that we don't have to go and do money. And I just explained all that earlier. That's probably why I ignored half of these people texting. But I'm grateful for the likes and all the stuff on the video today, as I said. But if it was somebody out here that we could physically see, physically touch in a nice way, and could give them a hug and actually greet them and say, "Hey, we met somebody," we'll do our part. We'll spend money on you, and you'll spend money on us. We'll take turns about, go out and get you dinner, or whoever's turn it is, whatever. It'd be like a family type thing.
She says, "Okay, alot. I have a phone. I'm scared to call people."
But, well, I'm scared to get calls too, because a lot of times I prefer text and a picture before I call somebody. If I get random phone calls, a lot of times when we got our newest phones, we get these random calls saying, "Oh, this one was this one's number," and I say, "Well, it ain't now. It's our number." But that's why I'm saying. That's why I always said I prefer somebody. If you see this video or any video where we put our number out there, and I usually do now. I usually, just in case there's somebody who wants to text and send a picture and say, "Hey, I'm interested in your offer," then we can talk on the phone if you want, and then we can set a day to meet up when we know it's you and everything, and we get introduced to you. Like I said, I'm not opposed to meeting your family or friends. I just don't like it when people shove that stuff on you and make it like that's the only thing that you're supposed to do and like. And like I said, I can't guarantee you if I'll like them. I've had to pick this unicorn bestie thing over my own family and my wife's family and everything else, because They don't know how to treat us. They don't know how to treat handicapped people. They're not handicapped. That's what's wrong with them. They say they understand, but they don't. They're not in their shoes, and they don't understand the problems that some people like this goes through. Some people are worse off than me and my wife. I've seen worse. I've been in special classes and things and seen kids that couldn't talk that have worse problems and never will get to see right, hear right. You don't think about these things. Some people never get what we get. I may not have, perfect hearing, perfect vision, or whatever, but hey, at least I can see. I'm thankful for what I do got. But it's like I said, that's why I didn't want to talk, text these people on there because I had no idea what they were saying anyway. So my wife's doing it. I don't know. But anyway, it's kind of cool to have her out here to kind of manage that if there's somebody, because most time when we come out, we don't get anybody or get anybody interesting, to do anything or say anything. Most time, like I said, it's somebody just wanting to be a smart aleck or something. But no, that's why we came out, and that's why we do a video or two once in a while, and we just talk about our day or what might have went on and everything else. But no, we're not looking for anybody far off, out of state, or nothing like that. We're looking for somebody. We're not looking for text buddies or friends or anything like that. We're looking for this one thing. If it happens, it happens. Athens, Tennessee is closest to us. Like I said, I explained earlier, everybody gripes about why everything's high. Well, it just is. It costs more. Food costs more. Dairy products cost more.
She said, if I come, do I have to buy my own food?
If I come, what?
She said, if I come, do I have to buy my own food?
We've got stuff. Like I said, all we're asking is for somebody, if you felt led to do it, I'll explain that.
Because my ex-boyfriend is a very mean person.
Well, I've been accused of that myself. But, I try to be nice. And I do. I try. I try to hear everybody out. My wife's seen me. But, again, it just depends on how you people adapt to me and how you take to me. I'm a nice person at heart. I know I could do y'all a good favor, whoever you might be out there. But, once I find this person or my wife finds this person, there ain't going to be nobody else. There ain't no friends. There's no family friends to have to worry about. What you see right here, me and my wife right here, it's what you'll get. Like I said, she's got a couple of bunnies outside she feeds. She might go and watch the cows. Mm-hmm. But no, nobody has to worry about buying us food or whatever, or having, or blowing your money on us. We're not asking for stuff from y'all. All we're asking is if there's somebody out there that wants to give us your time, and we're not interrupting anything, we're not hurting anything, we're not going to come between anything that you've already met, that you've already got your feet into, we suggest you would stay there, because we can't guarantee you that you won't have to pick or choose over one or the other. Because like I said, it happens sometimes. Sometimes you fall out of favor with your family and your friends and stuff. I'll give up all that stuff. It ain't nothing. It's just all a bunch of crap afterwards. But, that's why I'm saying somebody with less on and less. If there was somebody out there, for example, if there was somebody out there who was giggly and just, how you want to say, full of smiles and put smiles on faces, those kind of people, that's the kind of people I can get along with. And I can, as long as I could reasonably, me and my wife can compromise. Like I said, I've named about everything that we like on here. It's all right. But no, we're not asking for nobody's
She
money.
said, do you guys have driver's license? You might need it for your own benefit. What about a real man?
Well, see, that's why I didn't want to respond to anything.
No,
See,
they're just asking questions.
well, they ain't watching the video. But I'll explain it. Again, we don't have a car. We don't have $1 million. This ain't for you kind of people. This ain't the. We have, at one time we got mixed into somebody who was supposed to come on her own that came out of nowhere. Wrote me a long message on Facebook one time, and we lost over $3,000 fooling with all these cards and stuff. That's why I
She
said,
says, I need another man for the job.
well, I had a job, but they didn't know how to treat me. They didn't know how to. That's what I'm saying. I would go out there anytime and go and get me a job if I
He
could.
said, get with a black man or a Asian or a white man.
Who is this people? I wouldn't respond to
This is the female tiger. She's telling me to look for another man with a
this.
job.
Well,
White,
My-
black, or Asian.
my wife likes me for me.
I love my husband. You're not going to tell me who the fuck I can be married to, bitch.
Look,
Tiger.
that's why I didn't want to talk. All right, we're not responding. Don't comment on this video. Okay,
That's pissing me off.
because I don't want bad on the video. That's why I wasn't paying attention. Now my wife took me for me, and don't worry about it. Just ignore it.
Well, that's another one.
Oh, if it's
No.
okay. But no, my wife took me for me, just like a lot of people. You have to take what you get. I've said I have had jobs before. I have done my time and served for a purpose and made money. Was it to get rich? No. Was it part-time work? Yes. Did I work 2 or 3 days a week? Yes. Was I mistreated? Yes. Bosses didn't know how to come up to me. When I worked at Sonic, the first job I had a boss named Cheryl who didn't know how to come up to me, who she hired. I filled out everything. I filled out what I need to fill out and everything else.
I have a good job and can take care of you.
And she didn't know how to come up to me. Well, let me get this up because I'm bad at forgetting. I got a one-track mind. But I want to explain this so everybody understands. I don't mind the work, but I want to be in control of my own fate. I don't. A lot of times when I put my fate in somebody else or somebody's up over me, that usually don't go too well. But I'll explain my 3 jobs in my work history briefly. My wife has had several jobs too.
You don't have to be married. Get the fuck off here.
Don't respond to them, baby.
No.
She can get lost too. Whoever you are, I don't care. Nobody asked for anybody's 2 cents. I'm grateful for the likes and who understands what we're going through. You rich bitches, you people that's got friends up your ass, I'm not going to go anywhere. You're not going to tell me what to do just as I can't tell you what to do. So, tit for tat. So if you don't like what we're saying, those of you that don't like it, tough. Okay? Like I said, I came out here to get something off my mind, my chest. I didn't expect any of this. So if there's anybody that's...
I'm going to start crying.
What is
Because
it?
the girl thinks I don't like white women or black. She said I'm being sexual.
Look.
I'm not turning nobody.
Look. Get off here. Go on. Y'all are getting me. Look, y'all don't even have pictures, do you? No. What are you commenting about? What in the hell are you commenting about? Huh? What are you commenting about? Come on, whatever you can drop me back. I'll respond to you. You got my wife all tore up because you don't know how to behave. That's what I'm talking about. You got no reasons to comment. Do not. No more comments. I'm not responding to nothing else that's being talked down right here. So if y'all don't like it tough, I'm not here, as I said, I'm not here to argue, fuss, or fight. Yeah, I hear that. I'm telling you, I won't respond to people who comment and make my wife upset. Is that unreasonable? No. Y'all are just giving me more fuel to fire on you, so keep it up. I respond to people I can meet out in my hometown of Decatur, Tennessee. That's all I'm interested in. I said if there was somebody here that was in this local area of Decatur, Tennessee, then if you were out here, yeah, text me and my wife, send us a nice picture. That's what I said. That's what the offer was for, not for people far off that don't have pictures or don't have respect for other people like such as myself or my wife. That's what we're talking about. Y'all tune out parts of what you hear. You tune in what you want to hear. That's why yous are so backwards. That's why everybody in the world, all over the world, is backwards. Because you're supposed to do and say a lot of this stuff just to get a lot more people and do things ass backwards and things that aren't that's why we can't have anything out here. That's why we can't, because everybody else makes it about what they want you to do. I'm tired of doing what everybody wants. I've done good things for people, and they know who they are. Very few, but they know who they are. And I've never had the problems I've had up till just recently. I told my wife about 12 years ago, I met somebody that didn't ask for cards and money and wasn't hateful. This was before I got married, but, there wasn't all this stuff going on and worrying about the TikToks and all this stuff and the WhatsApps and all that crazy crap. Everybody's more worried about that. They make a Facebook, and yet they promote their Twitter and their Instagram and all that. And then there's people out there that ask for stuff, videos. You get everything from sex videos to. I got an email yesterday on my phone that sounded like somebody was wanting to trade stuff back and forth, and I ain't got time for that. I don't do that. If I wanted to make out, I'd do that in my own time, my own stuff, in my own time, my own home. I don't do that over the phone. I don't talk to teenagers. I put on this video every time I make one. It's not for kids. I always say that. I don't have no control over who does what or who comes out and wants to chat. But no, just like I can't tell anybody what to do, you just can't tell us what to do. We're here for a purpose. And I'm just, like I said, I probably ruffled a few feathers. And my wife's probably ruffled a few feathers, but she's going right now. She's upset. So Like I said, she's not responding to anything else, and I'm not going to either. But I just came out here to talk about a few things that was on my heart. And yeah, you're a coward too. All of you. Gay, name calling. See, I'd have glanced at that one. Name calling people you don't know. Coward because we won't give you money, because we won't pay for your bus, your taxi, people that we don't know that can't drive, that we can't trust. We trust our local transportation because it's local, it's in town. Like I said, it's a problem. We get people like you all out here that's far off, that's nowhere near, and say stupid stuff about people. Like I said, that's the problem. So, you know, that's exactly that's what exactly all the problem is. And see how easy it is? That's what Jim Cornette's talking about. You people, and he's a wrestling manager, used to manage in the wrestling. That's what he's talking about. You people on Twitter that I've made a lifetime out of having the longest block list possible. I never had over 10 friends on my Facebook because none of them take the time out to actually be themselves. They're more worried about playing video games and stuff on there, or selling somebody a doll and taking somebody's hard-earned money, wanting you to, I go out and I make dolls and I do this for a living. Yeah, and you take hard-earned people's money. So I wonder why my wife has got the stuff she's got and the stuff that she likes here and the reborn dolls that she's got. She had a couple of nice people that sent some off of the stuff when we used to be online, but they were kind enough to do so. They didn't ask for money and cards and stuff. But no, like I said, I'm not expecting to change you or whoever out here or anybody, but you're not going to change me, so you might as well quit commenting. So, you know, I'm going to go about my business today and everything. So, you know, we're going to do what we're going to do. So.
That just hurt. I just wanted to walk away. That made me cry my eyes.
So, I know, baby. I'm sorry.
I love you and I don't like.
No, it's all right. It's okay. These people will be sorry. Whoever did that to you, they'll be sorry. One of these days, don't worry about it. Don't, baby, please. Don't entertain it. I'm not, because, you know, like I said, we're nice. We're nice people. We don't deserve to be mistreated. And, you know.
She said, is that a threat?
You take it for what you want. I'm straightening you up. I ain't threatening to do nothing to you. I'm not going to go to your house and shoot you up or physically do anything to you. You're not here in front of me. I don't have guns anyway.
She said, do you want to fight?
Do you want to fight? Come find me.
She said, Eric, ignore those people. Oh, that's that one guy who's sticking up for you.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. I ain't making no promises, no threats to nobody. But I'm telling you this, if you come at me and you physically come at me first and you're the one that makes the aggressive action, yes, I'm going to come at you if that's what you want. But I ain't trying to do that. But I'm glad for the ones that like my video today. I'm glad for the ones that stuck up for me and my wife. If there's some on here that commented nice, thank you. And for those of you who are like the ones that are described and depicted
Kristen said she's calling the police
in this video, oh, don't worry about it. Look, y'all just go on. Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and babysit you. You know, I know what we did, and I know what we come out here for, and we didn't ask for you to do this, and y'all just make yourself look bad. One of these days, y'all gonna look at yourselves in the mirror, and one of these days you're gonna be wishing that you hadn't come out here and done this.
She said, "Why is Derek saying he's going to kill us?"
I didn't say that. Didn't say it. I just said you asked if somebody was trying to pick a fight. I said no. I said if you came up here and tried me, then yeah, anybody would do something then. But I would try to do the right thing before I was made to do something. Oh, I'm not drunk. I don't drink. Apparently, you don't listen to the video.
Also, Josh was on his way.
Look, I'm not going to argue with you people. So, I'm not, this is not what this was intended for today. So, take what you will, make what you want out of it, and like I said, there ain't nothing I could do. I think somebody, as far as that goes, I think y'all are the ones that must be on something. Y'all come out here, for the ones that are doing what you're doing, y'all are the ones that's on something, obviously. Like I said, we've explained everything. Nobody, they listen to what they want, and they take whatever it is, and they make whatever they want to make. But I've said what I was going to put out today, but I thank everybody who's put likes and all that on the video. But I'm going to get off here, here soon. But just before we do, just so everybody knows, the good people knows that the offer that we have on the table is legit. We'll show you one more time what we had over here briefly. Here, honey. Go ahead. It's all right. Go ahead. It's all right. It's all right.
I hate my life.
I know. It's all right. It's all right. But, she don't want to do it today. So, but anyway, it's on the video from yesterday. But anyway, I'm going to get off here now. I'll go back and get me some fun and watch. It's what y'all did. I'm going to get off here now. It's just people, but I think for the people that like my video, like I said, I'm going to get off here. But if anybody good that's been on here, stuck up for us, thank you. And if you want to chat with us when we're on, you're more than welcome to. Thank you. We're fixing to get off here for today. I've talked for a little over 2 hours, so that's enough. But thank you very much for whoever was nice to us. We thank you. And we'll be back on sometime or another, probably the next day or two. But because we don't come out and do very much, we don't know when we'll be on. But anyway, we just wanted to tell you about us, and what our beliefs is and what the truth really is on a lot of this stuff that's going on in the world. And just wanted to tell you about our day. And, so if anybody wants to chat with us, that's nice and understands, we'll welcome any of you. Like I said, but, we came out here just to do a few little things. So anyway, and tell you what we're on here for, not just for that, but like I said, we got lists of stuff and other things too you can check out. But anyway, we'll see you later.